Welcome back here to the Bearcat Sports Network. We're going into the bottom of the first inning here at the Dawn on a midweek game for the Bearcats taking on Prairie View A&M. Here's another look at the strikeout by Belton as Cody DeBesty watched the third strike, went by in quick 1-2-3 for the top of the first for the Bearcats. They put a goose egg up for Prairie View A&M. So we'll get you some information on the starting pitcher for the Panthers. Edward Robledo is a senior. He's a 5'10", 170 senior out of Wharton, Texas, Wharton High School. He is 2-2 on the season with a 5.61 ERA. He's appeared in 8 games. He started 3 of those. He's pitched 25 2/3 innings, 37 hits, 20 runs, and 13 walks and 14 strikeouts. Up to bat for the Bearcats, number 44, Bryce Johnson. Johnson is a 6'2", 180 sophomore out of Cypress, Texas Ranch High School. A 1-0 count for Johnson. Johnson had a pretty good weekend for the Bearcats against Northwestern State, advanced some runners. Sam Houston playing a lot of small ball this year. Johnson trying to get down with a square around bunt, so Johnson with a 3-0 count to start the game off here in the bottom of the first inning. And 4 straight balls for Johnson as he'll send him down the line for an easy walk down to first base. So we'll bring up the second baseman, number 15, Nate Van Dyke, hitting 167 on the season. He's started 10 games. Bearcats starting 6 freshmen tonight. That's tied their season high. They started 6 freshmen. There goes Johnson. Be firing down, and he is safe. So Johnson just talking about getting early on the board. So we'll see what the Bearcats do here. But Johnson, a lot of speed. He's been in a lot of situations where he's been able to get down the line this season. So we'll see what Nate Van Dyke, 5'9", 175 sophomore out of Montgomery, Texas, Montgomery High School. Hicks will go out to the mound to say a few words to Robledo. And there's already a runner in scoring position for the Bearcats here early in the bottom of the first inning. Van Dyke, one of the sophomores for Sam Houston. Van Dyke's going to square around, but he's going to foul that off from a bunt. Looks like he's going to try to move Bryce Johnson over to third base. So a change of things on the third base coach. Matt Deggs is usually out there on third base, but assistant Lance Harvall out there on third base. So the 2-1 count for Van Dyke. Bearcats have a runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the first inning. Square around, there's an offering. Sanchez is going to go down and get an easy out for the Panthers as it's the first out of the bottom of the first inning, and that'll move Johnson over to third base. So hitting in the third hole tonight, right fielder Hunter Hearn, who's hitting .267. He's one of the 6 freshmen you'll hear tonight. He has 8 hits at 30 at-bats. Hearn, a 6'1", 200 freshman from Crosby High School out of Crosby, Texas. He's going to send a little blooper out to center, and it'll drop. Johnson will wait to be tagged up, and that'll score a run. So Bearcats take an early lead with Bryce Johnson putting the first run up on the board for the Bearcats. First pitch there by Hunter Hearn. So that'll bring up the designated hitter number 45, Barrett Corselman. Corselman will look to get things started. See if we can get a few runs going here for Sam Houston early in the bottom of the first inning. 1 out. First pitch inside. Corselman, a 5'11" freshman, 210-pounder out of Huntsville, Texas. It's a Huntsville high. Corselman will send a shot down and get past the third base line, and that'll send him into first. He looked around that base there. So here early, 2 Bearcats on first and second. And bring up the 5-hole left fielder, number 42, Josh Biles. Biles, a 6'3", 225 freshman out of Sugar Land, Dulles High School. And Bearcats looking to get things started here early here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's another look at that grounder by Corselman. Good effort there by Sanchez. Just couldn't get over there, and there's a hit by pitch. So Robledo will load him up and bring Jordan Cannon to the plate. So not a good start for Robledo as he loads the bases up for the Bearcats. 1 out. So that'll bring up the catcher, Jordan Cannon. Cannon hitting .235 on the season. He's had 4 hits at 17 at-bats. Cannon doing a little bit of everything this year. He's pitched and batted and played catcher, so a little bit of everything. Utility player for the Bearcats. He'll hit a line drive, set to second base, and he'll go under the legs of Tones. So that'll score 2 Bearcat runs, and just like that, the Bearcats are ahead 3-0. Now with runners on the corner, so went right under the legs of the second baseman, Shad Jones. The sun's setting. He has some sunglasses on, but just an error there. So it'll be the first error for the Panthers, and that'll bring up Spence Ram, the first baseman for the Bearcats, with runners on corners with 1 out here early in the bottom of the first inning. 0-1 count for Ram. Ram is 6'5", 245 senior out of Tomball, Texas. It's a Tomball High School. That'll go. Ram will hit it down the third base line and score 1. And I'll bring everybody around as the Bearcats add on to their early lead. You're 4-0, so that'll bring up the third baseman, the 8-hole number 1, Jake Vasquez, another freshman for the Bearcats starting tonight. So with Spence Ram on first, Jordan Cannon on third. Jake Vasquez hitting .143 on the season. He's had 2 hits at 14 at-bats. Ram on first. Ram's going to go. Pop up there, so Ram will sit. And it'll drop. It'll cause trouble. That'll bring in Cannon. Cannon will slide in, and he's safe at first. So Ram and Vasquez will move to second and third as Hicks can't come up with the tag at home. So Bearcats lead 5-0 here in the bottom of the first inning, and this is not looking good for the Panthers. So that'll bring up Andrew Frege. Frege, a freshman playing shortstop tonight for Sam Houston. He's had 10 hits at 61 at-bats. So head coach for the Prairie View A&M Panthers, Antoine Riggins. He's in his first season. Assistant Brian White and volunteer assistant coach Terry Burrell, as Antoine Riggins will come out and speak to the infield. Not a good start for the Panthers. The Bearkats score 5 runs, still with only 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. So there's a shot of the Bearcat dugout. Your umpires tonight behind the plate, Mark Anthony Edwards. On first base, Brian Chin. And on third base, Bala Lopez. So Ram on third. Vasquez on second. That'll bring up Andrew Frege, who had a great defensive game. Great defensive weekend series for the Bearcats this past weekend against Northwestern State. Frege will step out of the box to take a few swings. See if Robledo will get him to go on the early count and make the count 0-1. Prairie View A&M sending some people out to their bullpen to get warmed up and stretched out. Runners in scoring position. Another low and away pitch. So Frege goes after that one. And Houston out to an early lead, 5-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Lido 4 hits and 5 earned runs. The ball be outside. Great day for baseball here at the Don. The Bearcats finishing up their brief home series. They had a weekend home series against Northwestern State, and this will be their last game before they take a road trip down to Thibodaux, Louisiana, to take on Nicholls State in a weekend series on the road for this weekend. We got Easter weekend coming up with Good Friday on Friday, so a half day of school for most universities. 1-2 count for Frege. Robledo will step off the mound to take a quick breather. Frege will foul that off down the third base side. Currently 70 degrees here in Huntsville. Nice evening for some baseball. Supposed to dip into the low 60s tonight. 1-2 count, and Robledo with the offering, and that'll strike out Frege, as Frege didn't like the call, so he'll go to the bench, and the Bearcats will bat through the entire lineup here in the bottom of the first inning. I'm going to bring up Bryce Johnson, who batted here earlier in the inning. Johnson was walked earlier in the game. He'll send a high ball down the first base line, and Avalos not able to get there. Just missed it by a few feet, so in the count to 0-1. Johnson already has a stolen base for today. It was walked earlier here in the first inning. 0-1 count. Lido throws it low and away to even up the count at 1-1. So 2 outs. Bearcats with 2 runners in scoring position. Spence Ram on third. Jake Vasquez on second. We're going to count to 2-1, low and away for the sophomore. Bryce Johnson will extend that and get it right past the third baseline. It's going to bring Ram home. Johnson will turn and look to 2, and Johnson will slide into second, and he's safe as he brings in 2 more runs for Sam Houston to extend their lead out to 7-0. So if you're Matt Deggs, you got to like the offensive presence here early in the ball game. Spence Ram and Jake Vasquez come home, and the Bearcats are out to a 7-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Johnson able to extend that barrel to get it right past Sanchez. Edgar Sanchez seems like it's been an eternity since Prairie View A&M. This game started at 6:30. Bearcats have already batted through their lineup. Nate Van Dyke will continue that, and that'll bring Bryce Johnson home. So Bearcats just pouring it on here in the bottom of the first inning. Nate Van Dyke not waiting around. Gets a line drive right down the third base line. Sanchez there, but extends it, and ball will go down third base line and come off the glove from Sanchez. So if you're Prairie View A&M, you're just trying to get an out to get out of this inning. Trying to put more than a Band-Aid on this open wound as the bleeding continues for the Panthers. As the Bearcats are up 8-0 with here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's another look at it. Line drive right down the third base line. Sanchez able to get there, but ball came off his glove, and that'll bring in Johnson from second. Van Dyke there on first base with a big lead. That'll bring up Hunter Hearn. Hearn 1 for 1 today. The runner on first with 2 outs, 0-1 count for Hearn. Hearn will send a line drive out to the gap, and it's going to fall there. So looks like it's going to bring in Nate Van Dyke, and 9-0. A stand-up triple for Hunter Hearn as he sends a shot out to the gap between left and center. And they can't find a Band-Aid for this open wound as the Bearcats continue to pour it on here in the bottom of the first inning. Looks like some fans are already headed out. And we're going to step aside. Bearcats lead the Panthers 9-0 here in the bottom of the frame. We'll have a pitching change. We'll get you more information on the pitcher when we return. We'll have more Sam Houston State baseball coming up right here on the Bearcat Sports Network.
It's on us to stop sexual assault
in any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
to stand up.
To make our community safe for all. It's on us.
It's on us to look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us. All of us.
To stop sexual assault. Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
For a noble deal.
It's Bill Fick Ford in Huntsville.
Come to the country.
And say.
At Bill Fick Ford, we're proud to say a noble deal is coming your way.
No gimmicks.
And no bull.
Bill Fick Ford.
We're all about family and friends.
That's Barbarella, BFF. See Bill Fick Ford today.
Take the short drive to Huntsville.
For no bull deal.
Bill Fick Ford.
Come to the country.
And say.
At Bill Fick Ford, hi.
A no bull deal.
It's coming your way.
Welcome back here to Don Sanders Stadium. This is the Bearcat Sports Network. I'm Cameron Bunch. The Bearcats up 9-0 here early in the bottom of the first inning. Head coach Antoine Riggins saw enough of Robledo as we get his stat line in just a second. Here's a couple of replays. Sam Houston able to jump out to an early lead, and Panthers couldn't get anything to get an out here late in the bottom of the first inning. So another look at some hits and RBIs driven in. It seems Bearcats have already batted through their order once. That'll bring up the 4-hole cleanup spot. Barrett Korselman, who's 1 for 1 today, with the runner in scoring position. Hunter Hearn had a line drive out to the gap between left and center. Hit a shot between Gurka and Williams. Gurka wasn't able to find the ball, so see if Corselman can add on to the lead. Hearn's going to come home off a pass ball, and that extends the lead 10-0 as the Bearcats have scored 10 runs here in the bottom of the first inning. If you're the Panthers, just trying to find that last out. Get some information on the new pitcher for the Panthers. Alex Richardson has a 6.75 ERA on the season. He's thrown 6 2/3 innings. Has 8 hits, 5 runs, 3 balls, and 6 strikeouts. Hitters are averaging .296 against him. A 3-0 count for Corselman, and that'll send Corselman down the line. So if you're head coach of the Panthers, Antoine Riggins, just trying to get out of this inning right now. That'll bring up Josh Biles. Biles coming in. So the Bearcats up 10-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. And it'll be a high for ball 1. Richardson is a 6'2", 220 senior out of Houston, Texas. Vernon College for Richardson. There's a strikeout on the outside of the plate. A 1-1 count for Biles. Bearcats starting 6 freshmen today. This ties their season high for starting freshmen. Last one was brought. Biles will hit a deep one out to left field, and it is gone. Biles with a 2-run shot over the left field wall. And just when you think the wound can't bleed anymore, the Bearcats showing some bats as the freshman gets his first home run of the season, second for the Bearcats. See if we can get another look at that. Biles got a good shot at that. And Williams tried to get there, but just couldn't come up with it. Had the distance. It's not too windy today, but had the ball, had the distance. So you bring in Richardson, he gives up 3 quick runs to add on to the lead. So Hicks Aaron Hicks, the catcher for the Panthers, trying to get Richardson to calm down. Here's another look at it. Biles just loads up. And we'll see you later. Takes for a ride over the left field fence. So Sam Houston up 12-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Jordan Cannon up to bat for the Bearcats. Nobody on base. And it's been one long half inning for Sam Houston. Cannon will get a line drive over Macias' head and continue the hitting streak for Sam Houston. And so got some action going on in the Panthers bullpen. Also got some action going on in the Bearcats bullpen. We'll see if Belton's out there continuing to throw, as you don't want to sit on the bench if you're Matt Days. It's a 30-minute half inning. It's going to hit a high fly ball to right field, and Bestie is there, so able to find an out here later in the bottom of the first inning as the Bearcats put 12 runs on the board as they're out to a 12-0 lead. We're going to step aside. When we return, the Panthers can get something started here. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have more Bearcat baseball when we return right here on the Bearcat Sports Network.